Hello, fellow campers. My name is Veronica, and we're here with another episode of Let's Go Campin'. We have some fun and informational segments for you, starting with Kemp Outside. Let's take a look.
Hey guys, Kevin here with Kemp Outside, your inside source for all things outside. Well, I have spent the last 3 weeks in a Coachman 21 QB from Mount Comfort RV. They sent us on a 3-week, 6-state park tour of Indiana, and we have had an absolute blast. But as you guys may know from previous episodes, I am a tent camper, so this is my first time RVing with my family, and I want to give you 5 things that this tent camper loves about RV camping. Number 1, and this has to be number 1 on everyone's list, is the air conditioner. Guys, it has been hot here in Indiana this June, and we have been roasting outside on our hikes, and when we come in to cool off or when we sleep at night, having that AC unit blasting has been fantastic. I can't tell you how much I love having AC when I'm camping, and I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to go back. So guys, number 2 on my list has to be the RV awning. So normally as tent campers, we have to find campsites that have trees to have shade to keep ourselves cool. But as you can see from the site that I'm at right now, there's no trees, no shade. We were in the sun, and having the awning deployed was a great way to keep cool so we could continue to be outside at the campsite without being too hot. I absolutely love the awnings on RVs, and I've got to find a way to get awning type shade next time I go tent camping. Guys, number 3 on my list is a refrigerator and freezer combo. So normally as a tent camper, at best all I have is a cooler, and if it's really hot, I've got to buy ice all the time. So for 3 weeks, being able to keep my food cold or keep things frozen or make ice has been a fantastic treat for this old tent camper. I love having a refrigerator and a freezer. It runs off propane when I'm running down the road from campground to campground, and at the park it runs on electrical that they provide at the campsite. So having a refrigerator and freezer is definitely an upgrade. Number 4 on my list has to be ease of setup. When we arrive at the campsite, all we do is we park the RV and our beds are set up. We don't have to set up tents and blow up air mattresses and unload a bunch of stuff out of the van to get everything in the tents and set up. Our luggage is already in here. Our beds are already made. Everything is ready to go, so we can arrive at the campground and hit the park right away and explore and hike and do all of the things that we want to do. So the ease of setup of having an RV over tent camping has been incredible, and it was not something that I would have expected. And number 5 on my list, believe it or not, is having a microwave. Now, this isn't something that I would have expected at all, but a lot of times we have leftovers when we're camping, and we have to pull them out of the cooler and then heat them up over a camp stove or over the fire, which isn't always the best way to heat up a leftover. So just having a microwave that we can just pop something in, heat it up real fast, and eat it on the go, or maybe have a hot lunch, has been a fantastic treat for this tent camper, and I absolutely will miss having it next time I go tent camping. Well guys, those are the top 5 things that I love about RV camping. I'm sure there's other things that I could think of, but these were the things that really stood out to me as a tent camper that I would love to incorporate next time I go camping. If you are thinking about getting an RV for your next camping adventure, whether it's buying one or renting one, check out the fleet at Mount Comfort RV and pick something out for yourself that will suit your needs, and get out there and go camping and enjoy the things that we got to enjoy. For Let's Go Camping, I'm Kevin Kemp with Kemp Outside.
Thanks, Kevin. Susan from Mount Comfort RV wants us to check out the new 2022 Vilano. Hey guys, we're here for the Mount Comfort RV review with Susan. She's going to tell us today about the Vilano.
Guys, this is floor plan 320GK, and it's actually one of the shorter floor plans. They offer 8 in Vilano's line. This is made by a company called Van Lee, which is a division of Tiffin.
Okay.
So Tiffin, if you're not familiar with them, you've probably seen their motorhomes in the campground. They're the really pretty ones. They do luxury line, and they have an amazing reputation. So they like to say that there's some motorhome DNA in their fifth wheels, and there really is. Let's kind of slide around to the side because I want to talk a little bit about the construction and what makes a Vilano a Vilano.
Okay.
If you've seen some of my videos, a lot of times I'll talk about the things you can't see are the most important things in an RV.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to start with the slides.
All right.
So one of the things that they do with their slide out rooms is they build them a lot like their walls. They're insulated, reinforced, just like the walls, and that includes the floor, which is something that a lot of manufacturers ignore. This is going to be it was insulated. I got to look at my notes here because I didn't want to forget anything. One of the things that you see too is they use like a 20 mil fiberglass. So what that does, why do you care about that? Well, it takes the paint a lot better. So it's going to be a lot more beautiful paint job than the decals on top. One of the things that you're going to see on this slide out too is another awning that's going to pop out. That's an option on Vilano. Of course, it's lighted too, and it's going to join this great big awning up here so that you have an awning almost the entire length of your RV.
That's nice.
Well, another thing that makes a Vilano is the way they build them. You are going to have walls that are made 16-inch on center. What that means is you're going to have aluminum tubular studs every 16 inches. Why is that important? Well, it's just going to make a stronger, more reliable coach that's going to go down the road better. Same thing with your roof. Still 16-inch on center, aluminum studs, and everything is going to be layered. So you get some nice layer of insulation inside. This is a fifth wheel that I would expect a lot of full-timers to be in.
Okay.
A lot of my half-timers, snowbirds like this. And it's not just because, like I said, it's a pretty coach or it's a little bit shorter coach. It's because of the quality.
Yeah.
You can really take these things down the road.
Now, what kind of vehicle would you need to pull something like this?
You would need a pretty hefty truck because we're talking a little over 12,000 pounds dry weight.
Okay.
So if you're not sure what your tow vehicle will pull, either call me, check with me. We could run it through some tow guides here, or check with your dealership. A good service writer should know what your vehicle can tow, because it can get pretty specific down to the gear ratios. So you really want to know. I mean, sometimes there's a difference of 5,000 pounds based on a gear ratio. So you want to make sure that you're in it and you're okay with it, because most folks are going to load several thousand, not several thousand, but close to 1,000 pounds of stuff in here. If you're going to be staying in it, you're going to have shoes and dishes and pots and pans, and of course you're going to take a little bit of water.
Yeah.
But one of the things I also wanted to talk about that makes a Vilano are these slam latch doors. Now there's a magnet holding this up so it doesn't pop down on us. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a tug, bring it down, boom. And that's another little secret in the RV industry. If you have a door that doesn't want to quite shut, great thing is kind of put your hands right above the latches, and that seems like it secures it a lot faster.
Okay.
Pop her back up, boom, there she is, and your hands free. And this is a pass-through storage, so you can get a lot of good stuff in here.
Yeah, looks like a great space.
Mm-hmm. One of the other cool things is good access to your LP tanks, and you're going to have pretty hefty LP tanks in a fifth wheel. Again, because they're assuming that you're going to be spending some time in it.
Right.
It's hard to beat the living space in a fifth wheel.
Yeah.
And in fact, I want to take you inside
so
you can see how beautiful this is.
Let's see. All right, Susan, let's see the inside. It's beautiful.
Isn't
you got to
it?
tell me about this.
Isn't it? Now, it's really hard to convey in a video, I think, how solid this feels.
Yeah.
But the stabilizer jacks are not down. This is just sitting on the landing gear. Yeah. So she's rock solid. And one of the reasons it feels so much like a house is everything that looks like wood is wood. Oh. It's hardwood that's sourced in the Pacific Northwest. And they actually mill this and cut it and finish it in the factory in Mississippi. So a lot of what you see that Tiffin has is Tiffin made. They like doing that because it gives them better control, better quality control over everything. Your backsplash there is going to be hand laid and grouted. And of
yeah.
course, they're taking into consideration that we're putting this down the equivalent of an earthquake every time we
Right.
draw it down the road. So it's there's some give and flex there. I love the little shade behind
Yeah.
the stove.
That's nice.
And of course, because we're thinking about people living in this longer term or full time, you've
Yeah.
got an actual apartment size stove and
Right.
range there. You can actually make a turkey.
And
in
this
there.
is all stainless.
It's all
right?
stainless steel,
Yeah.
absolutely, with solid surface
Beautiful.
countertops. People ask me, why do I care about solid surface countertops? Well, beside the fact that they look beautiful, they're going to last longer, you can wet sand a boo-boo out
Yeah,
and refinish
yeah.
it and make it look pretty again. So you've got some options
Keep
there.
it clean.
There's so much storage in here.
Right.
We'll have Troy swing around here so he can actually see. This is awesome. Now you could sacrifice a little of the storage if you wanted to by turning this drawer into a dishwasher. That's an option.
I think I like the drawer.
I like the drawer too because I've always got those big oversized pots and pans that I need a place for.
Right.
And I think you heard that snap.
Yeah, I
All
noticed
of-
that on one of the cupboards
Yeah,
too.
you've got
It's
these
really nice.
amazingly robust closes on here so
Yeah.
that as we're going down the road, when we open up our camper, when we get to our destination, all of your stuff isn't laying on the floor.
Yeah.
Because after all, this is going to go down the road.
There's a lot of storage over
Isn't
here.
this amazing?
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't reach those, but
Lighted, by
I
the
could-
way. Motion
Yeah.
sensor lighted, which I absolutely
Wow.
love. Now, you and I are about the same height, so
Yeah.
I know we would both be getting on a step ladder to get up here, but I
Right.
like the fact that Tiffin went ahead and gave us full profile cabinets. We don't lose any storage up there. So again, we've got these robust magnets that are going to secure two here, not just one, but two. So this is a fifth wheel. You're not going to see skimping on. Of course, we
Yeah.
went for the really nice refrigerator.
Right.
And the step up from your Vilanos, which is Beacon,
Okay.
one of the things that you can get is an 18 cubic foot refrigerator.
Okay.
There are a lot of things on the Beacon, which if you wanted a little bit more luxury, you can get full body paint, you can get dual pane windows standard, you can get, there's just a ton of options.
Yeah.
And a ton of things standard on the Beacon that actually are options on the Vilano. So don't think you can't go
Okay.
without. We've done several things in options. Like I said, that window. We've done, we didn't do the 8,000 pound axles, but you can, that's one of your options
so
there.
are these couches? Are those an option?
That's a sofa bed.
Oh,
that's a sofa
okay.
bed, and that's standard.
Yeah.
Your theater seats in here are also standard, and they
Okay.
are so comfortable.
They are really soft.
Now, one of the things that Tiffin does as well is they group their wiring in what's called a harness.
Pretty.
So the wiring isn't all over crazy places. It's grouped together and it's labeled. So if you needed to do repair, if you needed to figure out which wire is not doing what, all of your wires are labeled. They also have put in 110 outlets and you on either side, USB charge on that side.
Okay.
And then you've got light controls right here, which I love, right next to the seats. You've got the living room lights. You can turn those down. Dinette lights. Pop them back up. Our sofa reading lights off. Sofa reading lights back on. And there's a dimmable quality to these too. You can actually do some custom setting. Your fixtures, of course, are going to be just a little bit more elegant. And the other thing that Tiffin is awesome for are these ceiling fans, which is exactly where you need it, in the living area.
I saw a little fireplace over here too.
I'm glad you mentioned that because that can be two things. That can
Yeah.
be pretty or it can be pretty and warm.
Okay.
It's really going to put out the BTUs. So if you just want to take the chill off in the
Yeah.
morning, if you're down in Florida, you know, it can get kind of chilly, that you're going to be hooked up to power. It's electric.
Okay.
And you fire that bad boy up and it will really drive you out of here if it's warm outside.
Okay.
We actually had a beacon on the floor a year or two ago, and somebody had turned on the fireplace and we had to open all of the windows because
it got so warm.
It got so warm in here.
Yeah.
Now know that you've got a heat pump on one of your air conditioners. You can add a second heat pump to the other air conditioner if you like.
Okay.
But you have at least one heat pump. So between the heat pump and that, you're going to stay pretty warm in here before you even have to fire up the LP. And as we both know, LP, not free.
So, Susan, this looks a little higher than other fifth wheels?
It is higher. I'm glad you noticed that. It is absolutely higher. It's 8 foot tall. So it's almost full, what they call full profile in the ceiling.
Yeah.
You'd have to be an NBA star to hit your head on that slide out when you get up. I've seen slide outs low enough for when people pop up out of the theater seats, they do hit the top of their head.
Yeah.
Not so here. And that's one of the things that makes this feel, again, more like a house.
Yeah.
We also have a vinyl padded ceiling, and that's going to help again with a little bit more insulation and noise reduction.
Right.
Well, I want to kind of pop back this way just so you can see some more of the fit and finish. No carpet, by the way. Did you see any carpet anywhere?
No.
Isn't it awesome? Not even on the slide transition. So, love the bathroom. Good glass shower enclosure. So this one has a queen bed. Of course, there are plenty of floor plans that are going to have a king. This one would not accommodate a king bed. You can see the opening there is just not gonna hold one. But you do have a great mattress here, and you do have USB and 110 outlets on both sides.
Okay, so you've got the queen bed back here, and then the pull-out couch.
Correct.
Is it a queen?
You have a queen there as well. And now this furniture, when we talked about everything you see that looks like wood is wood, the furniture is also hardwood. So the balances, all of the work around here are also hardwood.
Closed drawers.
Yes, and not paper wrap stuff either. This is really the hard stuff. That's your closet.
Okay.
And that's a motion sensor light. Got some great shelves in the back.
Yeah.
And then if you slide this other panel that looks like a wall, go ahead and slide that. There you go. That's where your washer dryer can go. And it's already roughed in.
Or the rest of my clothes.
There you go. So washer dryer you can get from the factory. You can also get generator prep and an LP generator from the factory. And I would say if you're thinking about doing something like that, I always recommend to my customers that they do factory install. We can do aftermarket installation here, but it is thousands more to do generator and generator prep, for example. That's a little bit more too if you do washer and dryer aftermarket, even with the prep.
Okay.
So we've got to get it in here.
Yeah.
That is not a one girl job, not at all.
Yeah. There's more USB outlets back here too.
Absolutely.
On each side?
You have light control. You have light controls on one side, so you have to fight over who gets that side of the bed because your other light controls are right here where you'd expect them to be.
Okay.
So again, just really a wonderful coach. When I first started working in RV sales, I had a soft spot for fifth wheels. I don't know why, but they're just, I think all of us kind of say, well, if I had my own dream coach, I just love fifth wheels. I really do.
Well, this is beautiful.
Well, let me say this. If people have any other questions, I hope they'll give us a call here at Mount Comfort RV. I'm Susan Dillon Stills. Veronica, I'm going to kick it back to you.
Thanks for the review, Susan. Looks like Alex and Rocky are on another big road trip in Montana. Let's see what they're up to.
Good morning. We got a big day, boss. We're going to go do some traveling through Montana today and checking out some new towns we might want to put the camper at. So we're just going to go scouring through northwest Montana, road tripping out of the burb. She's all loaded down. This guy just wants to fetch. What? No. So then once we hit those towns, we're going to Glacier National Park. So, you want to fetch your tennis ball? God, he's fast. Good work. Alright guys, so we're sitting here fueling up at Town Pump in Three Forks, Montana. I actually paved this parking lot a couple years ago. First place we're going to go is Helena, Montana, so we're going to go check that out. And then from there we'll just kind of play by ear, but yeah, so a lot of these places I'm driving through today I've never even been to, so I'm not really sure what exactly we're getting into. I know we're going to end up in Kalispell, and I know we're going to go to Glacier National Park, so we'll check it out. We'll take some videos and we'll see how good it looks when we put it all together. But it's a 5-hour drive. Let's hit it. What do you think, boss? You in? Alright, so we just left Helena. I wasn't seeing anything there that was screaming at me like, hey, come spend some time here. So we are going to head up to Kalispell. Let's see here. Not a whole lot of towns between here and there. So leaving Helena, we're going up and we're going to finally start getting into the mountains. The drive going up there, I've never done it, but looking at this map, it looks like it'll be pretty cool. So sweet, a couple hours we'll be in Kalispell. Alright, we just got to a town outside Kalispell. Hey, come here. We thought we'd take Rocky Mountain Wall for a little fetching. Not a bad place to take a poop. Good boy. You ready to freaking go? Is this what you want? That's a happy dog. Come on, buddy. Oh, good boy. Get that ball. Give me that. Good boy.
And last, but certainly not least, Andrew Klein is back with some delicious food items that you should bring before you start your camping or road trip.
Hey y'all, how you doing? It's Andrew Klein again with Trax Barbecue here with Mount Comfort RV at KOA in Indianapolis. Here doing Let's Go Camping and Cooking in the Woods. Today we're going to talk about prepping at home, making sure that your job is easy when you're at the campsite. You don't want to be outside cutting, chopping, cooking all day, all night. All you're doing is hanging out in the trailer or outside working. You're here to be with your family. So let's hang out, let's make sure we're doing it right from the get. Camping starts at home. So especially with your food, I like to pre-prep. Remember the little containers we talked about in the first episode? We're bringing those back today. We've prepped a little bit of things like sliced onion, diced pepper, sliced pepper. These things are easy. You can use them across the board for breakfast, lunch, dinner, soups, sides, whatever, potatoes O'Brien. Also, pre-chop all your garlic. You can buy this already done if you like, but I like to prep it myself. That way you're not getting that old garlic flavor with nothing but oil. I like to pre-chop my butter. So These are all about 1 to 2 tablespoon chunks, so you can cook, toss it in, whatever. I like to bring all my own spice blends. That way I'm not bringing all my spices with me like we talked about before. This one here is my little SPG, salt, pepper, garlic. It's an all-purpose seasoning. Like again, I've got my butt rub, which is bacon, pork shoulders, ribs, anything you like to be a little sweet and heat. And then I also brought my chicken rub. This one here has a little bit of dried herbs, some spicy peppers, some roasted garlic, salt, and other things too. I'm not going to give you all my tricks. Not today at least, and not for free. And one of the other cool things you can do at home is making quick salads. Things that can hold for up to 2, 3, 4 days. 4 days tops. You don't want these things sitting around too long in your fridge, but it makes it easy your first few days when you get to the campsite. That way you can roll up, get your camp set up, get your fires going, grab food, get the meat on, and your first few sides are already ready. Things that I like to take when I'm here camping, I like to make broccoli salad. Quick, easy, just marinated little salads like broccoli salad. Coleslaw is super easy, few ingredients, just shred some cabbage. You can even get your cabbage pre-shredded. I like to shred my own. And then potato salad. There's a multitude of different types of potato salad. This is a red skin potato salad that's creamy with a little bit of Dijon and dill. So delicious. One of the other things I like to do is while you're working, say you're making breakfast and you're planning on having potatoes for dinner, loaded baked potatoes. Pre-make a few extra pieces of bacon. You can chop those up, put those in your little container, you got it ready to go. A little salt, pepper, bacon, sour cream, scallion, and cheese. Oh, so good. And Lux at your campsite. Okay, y'all, that's it for this week's episode with Let's Go Camping and Cooking in the Woods with Andrew Klein and Trax Barbecue. We'll see you next week.
That does it for this week's episode. We will be back next Saturday with our Christmas special on WHMB 40. See you then.